During Season 3 of Ninjago, we were introduced into debatably one of the best side characters we've ever had. PIXAL started out as the love interest of Zane, and eventually takes on the mantle of Samurai X, and in this time, she has received 4 incredible minifigures, and that's what this episode is going to cover. Starting out with her original minifigure from Rebooted, this minifigure captured the design perfectly and is overall just a fantastic minifigure. Her print itself is fantastic. Granted, she does not have any sort of leg printing, but it's fine because the torso more than makes up for that. She does also come with a dual-sided head. She's got a happy expression and she's got an angry expression, and they're both just fantastic and probably the best head that she's had overall. And similar with all of these minifigures that I'm going to show off, she looks fantastic with any Zane from that time period and Cyrus Borg. It just makes some amazing displays and makes some fantastic set pieces. But this minifigure is definitely a fantastic start to such a great line of this character, and I can't recommend it more. But next up is the Hands of Time variant. This is the first instance we get to see PIXAL with the mantle of Samurai X, and for a first outing, she looks brilliant. This is definitely such a sharp contrast from Nia's red when she was Samurai X, but it's amazing for it. It really separates the two characters. The print itself is fantastic, it's very complex and all the colours are really sharp. It just makes for a great design overall. Again, this variant looks amazing with the Zane minifigure of the time and Cyrus Borg. You can definitely see how well PIXAL blends into the main cast of characters. Again, coming in with a dual-sided head. Both sides are great, but particularly amazing is the visor side. It does make a great look, but the other one is fine. This all comes together to make one of her best designs, and it's definitely a figure I can't recommend anymore because it's just fantastic. Next up is the version of PIXAL that we see from Season 8 through to Season 15. It's the only Trilogy / the Wild Brain era of her. You can definitely see why they kept this design of her for such a long time. It's such a brilliant look, making the design more complex but keeping it legible, but also adding in more colours, giving us a splash of red and white. Again, coming in with a dual-sided head, I'm not really the biggest fan of the red side. It's a bit weird and it's not even canon. But the other side, being her face, is fantastic. We get to see a more updated and a better looking version of the happy side of her. But again, sounding like a broken record, any version of Zane from Season 8 through to Season 15 looks fantastic next to this version of PIXAL. And it's an amazing figure overall, and just another one I cannot recommend anymore. But for her last one, and her non-canon one, this is the version of PIXAL that we got in Core. And again, just another fantastic minifigure. But I have to say that while this is a great version of PIXAL, I do love it overall. I do consider it a slight downgrade from her previous minifigure. And I have to say that the main reason for this is because we do not get the Samurai X helmet. Instead, we do get a hairpiece. And while I do like having the hairpiece finally, I do wish we had a version of the helmet to go along with it. But you can give her the previous helmet if you wanted to. But again, the print is just fantastic, again with the complexity, but being able to be clear enough to see the print itself, and also getting more white. It's just a really vibrant looking version of her. Definitely feeling like a broken record with the Zane comparisons, but I have to say how good she looks next to Core Zane. You can definitely see how well they fit in with each other. She does also have the dual-sided head again. Again, opting for a happy face and an angry face, and while it's a fantastic headpiece, unfortunately the angry side doesn't get the red eyes like her original minifigure did, which is a little unfortunate. But while I do prefer the previous variants of her, again I cannot recommend this version of PIXAL anymore because it's still brilliant. But to give you an overall of the PIXAL line of minifigures, I definitely can't recommend any of them anymore, and they are all amazing if you do get them. And while I do personally recommend all of them, I will say that the original and the Hands of Time variant of her are a bit more pricey, but you won't be disappointed if you buy them. If I was to recommend a singular minifigure, I would probably opt for her third one, which we see in the Oni Trilogy and the Wild Brain era, because it's the one that we see the most, and it's probably her best one of the bunch on an overall. The third one definitely opted for an amazing price as well as an amazing design, so that is why I think overall it is the best version of her to own. But I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I helped you out if you're looking for a Pixel minifigure to buy. But for the next episode, we're going to be covering the brown ninja himself. Okay, bye!